Guys, as always, appreciate you guys' time covering our team and our kids, man, and they deserve it. So I appreciate you guys' time and getting over every Monday and traveling to our games and going through all of it. So appreciate you guys' time. Thank you, Jesus, for an opportunity to coach these guys, man. Have an impact on them. We got 108 guys in this team that I know are going to be world changers and professional in something, some football, some in other things, and I'm excited for them in life too to learn from some of these moments. Obviously, proud of how our guys battled, man. Really proud. Watched the game. Got back really early Sunday morning and with some of the travel and what have you. But proud of how our guys battled, and we're going to talk about the game itself here more. But our guys did not flinch. They kept swinging the entire game. Lost the game 17-7. Need to execute better in certain situations, but they never flinched. Our sideline was connected. There was a lot of love going around, and our guys battled. We need to execute better in certain situations. Offensively, watching it, obviously there were some variables in the game, right? The weather was a variable in regards to why we ran the ball as many times as we did. We knew going in that was going to be a big part, but we definitely need to find our spots to attack more. We need to be on the attack more as an offense. And looking at it, I know there's those spots. I had a really good talk with Nate and our offensive staff, and we see that too. Obviously, the weather early on in the game was coming down pretty good, but there were times in the game when it wasn't. Even when it's weather, we got to pick our spots. We are still going to run the football. That's a DNA part of our team, and we were able to do that in the game. Whereas for 167 yards, whatever it is, but need to open it up more in certain situations and be on the attack with the ball in the air more consistently in that game. And then we got to make sure we had some critical penalties in the game. Weren't pre-snap, but critical penalties. Obviously, the one on 4th and 2, that probably was an explosive play that would have ended up probably going in for a score or at least 3 points. Ended up taking us out and had to punt the ball. So that really turned into a turnover in a game where the turnovers were 0. We didn't have an edge, but we didn't lose the game in regards to turnovers, but we got to be on the attack. So some penalties hurt us, and we got to find a way to make sure we're on the attack more offensively. Defensively, we got to stop the run. I mean, they threw for 20 yards and beat us. That's 2 weeks in a row where a team in total has thrown for 50 yards and beat us. So we've had really good conversations looking at, wow, we got to adjust quicker to some of the run schemes that are coming at us. There was a power scheme that we didn't fit correctly, and they came back to it, and we didn't get it adjusted quick enough. And so that's on us as coaches to make sure that we adjust quickly to some of the stuff we're seeing. And then we had some missed tackles in that game. That it's something we got to continue to focus on, even with our guys beat up, banged up, just like everybody is in the country, that we got to tackle better. Special teams wise, really a wash, special teams wise, outside of missing a field goal at the end of the game to make it a one-score game. Well, I believe in Colton Boomer. We got to make that kick. Got to make that kick. That's a huge part of our team and making sure we get those points. And there's some other spots on special teams that we can be better. But really, if you look at it, overall, pretty much a wash, both sides. We got to make that kick, though. They made their field goal. We didn't make ours. So proud of how our guys battled. Wasn't by any means good enough, 17-7. Not good enough. Not good enough, and I take full responsibility, and everyone can have their opinion of what that means, but I really do. It breaks my heart because these kids care, they love this team, and they give their all in practice and for this team. Now, at 6-4, we got senior night on the blue, and it's going to be a sold-out crowd, and we got to protect the blue. That matters to us. We did not do it the last time we're on the blue, and that's really going to be my message. It's not about the next game. It's not about postseason. It's all focus is about senior night on the blue, and us learning from this past weekend, us learning from, okay, how can we be more explosive offensively? How can we do a better job stopping the run defensively? How can we make game-changing plays on special teams where we have not to this point? So that's really going to be our focus this week. Injury updates. Maddox is still going to be out, so he's doing better, but he's still going to be out. Hopefully we get Chris Marshall back. He's done a good job in rehab, and so hopefully we get him back practicing, and he'll be available. Jason Steele is going to be questionable. I don't see him being able to play, but he's done a really good job focused on his rehab and getting back ready to play. Sherrod Smith, hopefully we can get him back. He was close. He was really a game-time decision, so hopefully we get him back and he can be rolling. Malachi Williams, our number 2 D-end, he's banged up. We'll see if we can get him back. That's really the quick update there. Amarion McCoy had a knee injury about 6 weeks ago and elected just to fight through it, battle through. I mean, he has to get his knee drained like twice a week because he's battling. It got tweaked again in the game on Saturday, so he's going to get surgery this week, and Amarion's going to be out for the season. It's a hard moment because he loves his team, and he's been absolutely battling. But at this point, it got tweaked again, and he can't go out there and perform the way he knows he needs to and we need him to. And so he's going to get surgery and get it fixed. So he's going to be out there later this season. He's going to do a really good job making sure he helps lead this team because he's been battling, man. I'm so proud of that kid. I mean, the amount of times he has to live in the training room and get it drained and be right, that's because he loves his team. That's because he loves his team, and we're going to miss him, but he's going to do a really good job leading his team. That's really pretty much the injury updates. Talking about Colorado State, I mean, they're a good football team. Tyson Summers, their interim head coach. I've been in that spot before, and they haven't flinched. I mean, you see them and how they've been playing. They've been battling. I mean, you look at even what they were able to do. I mean, they beat up on Fresno 42 to whatever. They had New Mexico. That game's really theirs. They throw an interception late. They lose, I think it was 20-17. So it's a good football team. And so we're gonna focus on them and focus on the schematics they present so we can be on the attack. But we're doubling down on us, making sure that we learn, we grow, and our best football team shows up on Saturday night. Offensively, what they do, they got a really, really good group of offensive linemen, really long, really athletic. They really get you moving lateral, and they create explosive plays. They got a slew of running backs that do a good job. They really play with 20 and 25, do a good job. Quarterback-wise, they played really two. They played number 7. They played number 3. They're kind of back and forth a little bit with their quarterbacks. I think we're probably going to see more of number 3. He really played a little bit more last Saturday against New Mexico. He threw for a bunch of yards. So we'll see who we get. We'll plan for both of them. Receiving core solid. Tight ends do a good job. They put you in a lot of conflict. They do a lot of different formations, and they do a good job offensively. Defensively, they're a little bit different. And obviously Tyson Summers done a really good job there defensively. They put you in a lot of different conflict with their fronts. They stem and move out of their fronts. They get in a lot of different odd front structures. They'll play in some 2-5s and a 0. They'll move to it with different personnel. They got good coverage adjustments, and their guys play really, really hard. Their back end can run. Their linebackers are really savvy with some of the run fits they put them in, and they play really hard. They do a good job creating takeaways. So we got our work cut out for us. It's going to be all about us learning, growing, and being our best. So with that, I can open up for questions.
When you go back and look at the play calling and you say a lot of it's the weather, how much of it is the weather and how much of it is it not wanting to throw too much on a quarterback who maybe doesn't have quite the experience?
Yeah, I just think there are variables. That's why I use the word variable. I'm not saying, like, the weather was just a variable in the game, right? Having Max is just a variable, but we believe in him. We believe in Max. We did not put him in situations to attack downfield enough, and that's on us as coaches. Looking at it after the game, like I said, when I talked post-game, I had to go watch the film to make sure, and after watching it a lot and making sure me and our offensive coach are on the same page, we had more opportunities to attack downfield, more opportunities to get the ball in the perimeter, more opportunities to give our playmakers the ball in space, and we didn't. So we got to make sure we do a better job of that going forward. We're still going to run the football, but we got to do a better job opening it up.
You guys going to be sticking with Max this week, or is there still room for Zeke?
Yep, it's going to be Max. We believe in Max, and we obviously he's got to have a really good week of practice. He's got to continue to grow and perform in practice. We put a premium on practice performance, but I believe in Max, and we got to make sure we give him opportunities to attack more.
So when that mentality to attack on the offense doesn't happen in the middle of a game, what happens? What's the breakdowns there?
Yeah, we got to do a really good job as coaches, Prater. We got to make sure. I mean, the 4 games we've lost, and this is not just on our offense, but just now that we're speaking offensively, we've scored 7 points, and we've been shut out in the second half in all of our losses. You're not going to win football games if that happens. So what are we adjusting at halftime? How are we going to put our players and our playmakers in better spots in the second half? What are some things we're seeing that we can exploit in the second half? And we're going to do a better job of that. We knew that was a focus, but we obviously didn't. We're performance-based. We didn't perform the way we needed to, so us as coaches got to do a better job, Prater, so that in a second half, we have better answers. We can be on the attack more, and especially in the second half of this game, the weather really cleared up, especially sort of the second half of the third quarter, especially in the fourth. It was better, and so we got to pick our spots to make sure we attack, still run the football, but we got to make sure that we can attack downfield, because when you don't, you're going against a box defensively that's really, you don't got enough numbers, right? Especially with a quarterback that is not a +1 run threat. We're outnumbered in the box. So it doesn't matter what run schemes we do. It's going to be really hard to be explosive. And when you look at football, the 2 biggest stats are turnovers and explosives. Turnovers was a wash. It was 0. We didn't take any on defense, which we need to, but we didn't turn the ball over. The ball was on the ground, but we got it back. And then explosive plays. We had 4. They had 7. And really, we had 2 going into the last drive of the game and got 2 on that last drive. So those are the two biggest stats that affect winning games, and one was a wash, one we lost a football game.
Is it fair to say that Nate is still learning his new role?
No, I don't think so. I think you're learning and growing always, Prater. Like, is Nate going to be a better offensive coordinator today than he was a week ago? Yeah, I would say no different for me as a head coach, no different for someone who's been an offensive coordinator for 10 years. Hopefully, you're always learning and growing. But just like I believe in Coach Potter. Believe in him. I know who he is as a coach. I know how he sees the game. I know he pours in our players. I know he's got answers. Now, are we performing to the level we need to offensively? Absolutely not. But for me, I don't directly go to, you can't do it, or you're not good enough. I think to me, that's a very average leader, that the second maybe a player doesn't play well in a game, all of a sudden you just write them off, or is there something you're missing? Is there ways that I got to support Nate more? Are we getting enough, are we having enough conversations throughout the week? Are we putting our players in good spots? And it's holistic. We are not performing the way we need to offensively, and our players care. They are battling, so it's on us as coaches, and we got to put them in better spots.
You mentioned the schemes, didn't matter, but I don't think there was any play action.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have any like 2-back sets.
Yep.
I mean, it seemed like a lot of just basic run plays. I mean, how do you look at the types of plays you're running in terms of? I know you want to run the ball, but can there be more variables and creativity there?
There needs to, BJ. Yeah, we need to put a defense in more conflict. We need to find ways to put them on their heels more than we did in the game, and we got to be better. And we had some things in the game plan that we didn't use, that we had good conversations about why, and making sure that we don't leave those bullets unshot. We go into a game, and I think the question was asked to me after the game, like, we don't go into any game planning to lose. We go into every game planning to win. And that's on us as coaches to have the plan and then to go out and execute the plan. But we didn't. We had some of those bullets we didn't shoot, and we got to make sure we use them.
In terms of the in-game adjustments, how do you guys think you do as coaches there? Because a lot of the stuff you say, we saw it later and we should have done this. I mean, where's that breakdown, that communication during the game, why some of those changes can't come sooner?
Yeah, we got to be better, BJ. Yeah, I mean, especially in this day and age with iPads and all that, like, we know what it is. Why are we not adjusting and it being executed on the field in game? Because it's too late on Sunday to make adjustments, right? It's easy to sit in my chair in my office and say, oh, this is what we could have done, should have done, just like everybody's going to do with us. We got to make in-game adjustments better. So we're having good talks to staff, and this isn't brand new. Last weekend against San Jose State, we've been shut out in the second half of multiple games. We've had more points scored us on the second half in these losses than we have in our wins. We got to do a better job. And defensively, there's some similar things too. There's a couple run schemes that once we got them fixed, we were in a good place, but it still took too long. And in the game we're playing really good teams. We're on the razor's edge. We got to make sure that we adjust quicker, and we're going to be better for that going forward. But now it's for us making sure in real time, what are we doing? How are we using the iPads? What is our conversations when our side of the ball is off the field? How can we get this fixed? Where are we losing this? Those are conversations we're having to staff.
When you have those exact same conversations in game, what's Zach's role?
Yeah, for me, and that's why the second our offense is off the field, I'm switching over to defense. So it's conversations with our offense, what's going on. And our entire offense staff does a really good job. Hey, these are some things we need to get to. I can't speak to exactly what's being said because the second one side of the ball is out, I'm on the other side of the ball focused on that side, Prater. But from talking with Nate and talking with our entire offensive staff, everyone has good opinions and where we're going to go to, but it has to be better. The product is not what it needs to be, especially because our players care and they are working their tails off. We need to be better as a coaching staff.
There's been games where it has been clicking, where you are scoring 50 points a game. Is there anything you can look at and see, say, okay, we were doing those things in these games that you necessarily weren't doing when in the losses?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've been explosive as an offense this season. As of late, we have not been. So why? And there's no excuse. Weather's not an excuse. Who's in the game's not an excuse. We have to be explosive in offense. And we have enough. We have what it takes. So it's on us as coaches. Like I said, I'm proud of our team. I'm proud of our players. The product on the field is not what it needs to be. If our effort from our players is there and they're working their tails off, that's a coaching issue. That's on us, starting with me, and that's on our coaches to put them in spots to be explosive.
I know hindsight's 2020. Looking back at the film with Max, and I know there was an emphasis to run the football against SDSU. Was there a conversation, hey, we need to let Max kind of air the ball out a little bit more headed into this game?
You talking about going to Colorado State?
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't met with our players yet. We're going to meet with them later tonight, but absolutely. I mean, we believe in Max. We gotta give him more opportunities to take his shots, and then it's Max's responsibility to do a really good job in practice, to earn the trust with his coaches and his teammates.
Before halftime, when it was a tie game, it seemed like that could have been a good moment to see maybe what you get out of him, maybe for the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
What went into the decision making to just kind of go into that for the tie game?
Yeah, in that situation, it's a one-score game. And I thought about that situation a lot. It's a one-score game, and at that point, still raining, still coming down. Minute left. We had no timeouts. Wanted to see if maybe one of our runs would pop and create an explosive play. Then we'd be rolling. It didn't. And at that point, I'm not obviously hindsight's 20/20. At that point in the game, I was thinking, you know what? It's a one-score game. Let's not create any issues, especially where the weather is right now. Let's go in. Let's adjust. Let's have really good answers and come out better second half. Hindsight's 20/20, and look at that situation going forward. Want to be on the attack more than we were, but that was where my head was at with how we played.
So were the timeouts then called for before that, like for the defense, or were you trying to save the
Well,
clock? Or?
still wanting to see what we could get, right? I mean, I'm always going to be on the attack and how I think game management wise. And so we had a minute, we had no timeouts left. But it's like, hey, let's see if we can get something going here. And nothing really hit the way we wanted it to. And at that point, I was like, you know what? We're going to go into halftime. Do I regret it looking at it now? Well, we scored 7 points. So probably should have used that series too. But in the moment, I don't regret where my heart was at. I didn't regret how I went through my process, and knowing that where we're at in that game, one-score game, it was still raining. Let's not do something that puts us in a bad spot here.
You talked a lot about the conversations you've had with Nate and the offensive staff today, and the issues are pretty clear for everybody right now. What was the conversation like in terms of how to fix the issue?
Yeah, good question. That's what it's all about, Kurt. I mean, we are problem solvers. It could take anybody on their sofa at home to watch and look at a game and give their opinion. We're problem solvers. And so that's where my biggest message, even yesterday with our staff, as much as it kills me when our team doesn't win these games and I have to look in these kids' lives and these kids' eyes and see how much they're, but we got to find a way to get it done. So us as coaches, we are problem solvers. We have to create answers. And so that's what we're going to work to do. How do we do it in practice? This week in practice, we're going to be very simple, very, very efficient with our time. We got to execute better. So is our urgency of practice enough, right? So that when we get in the game, I can execute the things I do in practice. Okay, what are some drills we're going to start doing? We're going to do a little bit different things at practice or executions at a premium. That's what we're into. And then making sure, like almost the point you have, BJ, making sure formationally, everything we do puts a defense on their heels to make sure we can attack more, not just throwing the football, running and throwing the football. That's what we're going through right now. That's what I know our coaches are doing a really good job game plan.
Sean Lewis said they bullied your offensive line post game. You've watched the tape here and there, and what are your thoughts on that? Do you agree with him?
Everybody post game has their opinion on how they handle press conferences. That's not how I handle press conferences. Let me start with that. They won the game. They won the game. Hats off to them. They did absolutely enough to win the game. But I love our team. Our team never flinched. They battled. They won 17-7. Hats off to San Jose.
Does anything change in terms of, you mentioned trying to be better with the iPads and all that, is whether who's in the box helping look at stuff, whether it's who's calling the plays, or maybe not that drastic, but is any operational stuff going to change this week?
Yeah, looking at BJ, the iPads is something we're really on right now as a staff. I don't have any answers for you guys right now, but how we're using them, how our players are using them, is it too much information to where our guys just watch their series? Maybe they didn't play well in the series before. Are they going out, scared is the wrong word, but now more afraid to lose than they are going out attacking? So we're looking, because we want to use it as a tool and make sure that we don't keep our guys from playing their best. But we're going to make some changes with the iPads. I don't know what those are yet, but that's a huge topic for me with our staff. In regards to someone maybe go up in the box and changing, on that too, I don't know what those changes are right now. Obviously, Nate's in the box, Coach Chin's is on the field. The information flows really good. We're seeing things. Like I said, I would feel way different, BJ, if post game it's like, man, we never saw this. We never had good communication. We do, but our players aren't executing with the adjustments we're having. So that's on us. That's not on them. So are we being clear enough with our adjustments? Are we taking the time to make sure it's very clear defensively, offensively, what we're doing? Because it's not happening. It's not for lack of information. If anything, BJ, it's probably too much. It's probably too much. We got to simplify to make sure, hey, this is the one thing for my position group or side of the ball. That next series is a non-negotiable we have to get done. That's where we got to be better. It's not for lack of information.
He says a few minutes ago, Spencer, you know, once the defense goes out on the field, you kind of switch your attention. Are you against maybe letting Coach Ching's just take a couple of series and just focusing on the offense once they're off the field? Are you open to that?
Yeah, for me, I'm all about the team, all about game management. So I'm there to support whatever side of the ball, and we have really, really good coaches. I believe in our defensive coaches. I believe in our offensive coaches. I believe in our special teams coaches. The time for me talking about all that stuff, that's going to be after season. No different. I could ask about recruiting. Like, yeah, we're absolutely recruiting our tails off right now, but we have our team right now, and I'm pouring into them. So in game, when one side of the ball is out, they need my attention. Those players, I want them to see me looking at them. I want them to see me with them. That's a non-negotiable for me. Like, those 11 dudes on the field, I don't care if it's kickoff or defense or offense. I'm going to be right there supporting them, and we got good coaches.
2 years ago, Spencer, you guys were on the outside looking in, a Mountain West Championship appearance. There was kind of a breath of fresh air that apparently swept through here, and you guys ran the table and got there. What do you learn about that experience, and how do you apply it to, now where you guys might be kind of on the outside, but still games to play?
Yeah, Jay, I think about that 2 years ago a lot. For our team, the past 2 weeks, we've had everything on the table, everything to play for, and just haven't executed enough. And we got to get that fixed. So for me, that's why so much is less about postseason, championship game, bowl games. My sole mission this week is to focus on our guys, staff first, learning, being better for our players, and us playing our best to protect the blue on senior night. And then whatever happens 2 games from now, let the chips fall within them. That's my focus for our guys. I want our players to be where their feet are. This season's going to be over in a month. And I'm going to make sure us coaches, our players, we are where our feet are. And I'm going to talk to our team tonight, talk to our leadership. Everything you want in this life is on the other side of hard. I believe that. Everything you want in life is on the other side of hard. And I talked about no different being married. I said, man, if the second it was hard the first couple years, I said, I'm out. Or the first time me and my kids, it was hard, I was out. First time as a coach. I mean, my first couple jobs, you're making $18,000 and you're trying to figure out, but everything you want in life is on the other side of hard. And I said, guys, we got to learn from this. Because if you go left or right or go backwards, you're falling in line with the statistics of our world right now, where guys want to run from hard things. Go through it. Got to go through it. Don't think about, well, after the season or right now. Be where my feet are. Everything you want in life's on the other side of hard. And I'm just doubling down there, Jay. But what I do know, what I learned a lot 2 years ago, is a team that blots out what people are saying about them, blocks out what's going to happen after season, and doubles down on loving their team, focused on being where their feet are, and having a blast playing football. Anything is possible.
You mentioned the 2 quarterbacks that you're facing. What are their differences in play, and does that kind of make it a little harder to prepare, having to prepare for 2 different schemes?
Yeah, both of them are athletic. Both of them can throw. They both can run their offense really well. I think 3's a freshman. 7, I want to say, is maybe a sophomore or a junior, so 7's a little bit older than him. They're both athletic. They both can do a lot. Obviously, they both have some things they do differently. We got to be really aware of who's in the game, but they both can run the offense really well.
Senior nights, Latrell Caples, feels like this dude's been here almost as long as you have. Just what can you say about what he's meant to this program?
Oh, man, Latrell Caples is a young man that, choked me up even thinking about, that I have the utmost respect for. I mean, a guy that, and I asked you, please just even watch the San Diego State game. I mean, watch for 22 plays in a row when we ran the football, he's blocking his absolute tail off. Team guy, loves his team. We even met as a leadership group, which he's on, and just talked about being where your feet are. And he even said, I'm a senior. There's a lot of things after this season that I got to get figured out. He's like, but the time's not now. The time's to be here, to finish what we start. And I think the absolute world of Latrell Caples, I love him dearly. I believe that the best is still to come for him in this life because of who he is, and this will be home for him forever.
Where do you start with the cornerback competition with McCoy this week?
Yeah, we're going to start with Freeney and Sherrod Smith, and they're going to go, obviously, Sherrod's injury. We'll see kind of where he's at, but those two will definitely go at it. Franklin Johnson is going to have a shot too, and DeMauro does a really good job rolling guys. Obviously, we played really well at that position this season. So we're going to turn the heat up, and we're going to still roll guys. You can see in game we're able to get a lot of guys in, but those will be the two that first kind of have their first shot at. But we'll roll Frank too, and we'll even see Trey Tolmera maybe. But we're gonna roll some guys to see going into a game who's our fourth.
Have you started writing the letters for the seniors?
I'm actually starting today.
Just how long how long does that usually take you? What's kind of your process for doing that?
Yeah, it takes me about a week. I think about it. I started thinking about it in the bye week just because some of the things I wanted to speak to individual, and just each one takes me a while because, I mean, I love these kids, and especially like even talking about Latrell Cable's like, golly, that letter's gonna be hard, just because I care about him and his life. So I usually it takes me a while. I spend a good amount of time on it, and usually do it at night or early in the morning when it's just kind of me here and just thinking about these kids, praying for them. And I always want to be in their life as someone, especially when this is over. I never want anything from them. I'll never call because I need something. I want to just call because I love them, and I want to always be able to speak truth into their life. And that's what it is.
What's your number for the Saturday then? 20?
It's a good question.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. 18, 20? Yeah. Thanks, guys.